out of control.
Alright, hello everyone, welcome to the Premise Podcast. This is Bo. We have our first live recording with a studio audience.
Hey!
Don't know if you can hear that. If you guys aren't audible, I'll just edit in sound. We can get you guys to record screams later, and then we'll just stitch them in, and we'll put those here.
Yeah.
Here.
Woo! Yeah.
Okay.
What's happening?
So this is the Premise Podcast. Every week we have a completely new podcast, a new premise for a podcast. You understand, Xiaodi?
I'm trying. I don't know.
This is Xiaodi.
Am I the only one who doesn't understand this?
All right, don't talk to them.
Oh,
Don't
okay, okay.
act like they're not here.
Okay.
They're here for us. We're not here for them. Okay?
Okay. Like Friends. There, you hear the background.
I don't know if that is. Oh, yeah, it is like Friends. It's like a sitcom. Okay, Xiaodi,
Are you going to introduce me?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay.
You're a part of my COVID bubble, right? We're quarantined together.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. We don't know how if the microphone is working or not, so that's why she might repeat things twice. Okay, that was the radio.
There are a lot of traps in both rooms, so you'll hear these and that.
Okay,
That's
just so you know,
falling in the trap.
when you talk with your face away from the microphone, it won't pick it up at all.
Okay.
That's why we won't address the audience directly. Right, audience?
Right.
They're so comfortable in this space. They're all just sitting on my bed right now. And just for the record, the live studio audience is all a part of our COVID bubble as well, when we're all getting tested for school and we're all living together for school already. So, isn't that right, live studio audience?
Woo! Yeah.
All right. Okay, Xiaodi, I want to get the audience a chance to get to know you.
Oh.
Because you're my guest host this week. We're
Yes.
co-hosts this week.
Yes.
And usually when I have a guest host, I do a little quick, get to know you game or a personality test or something to get to know the guest.
Okay. I picked personality game.
No, I don't have options for you.
Okay.
I only prepared one thing.
Uh-huh.
I looked up online good questions to get to know someone.
Okay.
And they're all within, if you look that up online, they're all within the context of a date, like a first date.
Okay.
So I thought maybe it could be like you're having your first date with the audience of the podcast, with all the listeners. Is that creepy to you? Do you like that? Is that fun?
I'm not
Is
sure.
it romantic?
I'm not sure I'm fun on first dates.
Uh,
But I'm a fun person. I just don't know I can fully be myself on first dates.
well, you're on one right now, like it or
Okay.
not.
Hi.
You're on a. What do you?
How are
What do you
you?
imagine? Yeah, get to know your
Get
listeners.
to know you, yes.
Say, where are you from? I'll speak for the listeners.
Oh my god, this will make me sound so boring.
What? Well, what are you talking
I might be
about?
boring on first days.
Okay, it's not a real first date.
But I'm nervous. Now I'm nervous.
Okay.
Like
I have get to know you
okay,
questions.
I'm from China.
No. That's not the question. But that's good for the people to know. They know your name is Xiaodi.
I didn't answer the question.
I'm asking you questions.
I didn't answer. Like, you didn't. Okay.
Okay.
Are we still on the first date?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is not going well. I
It's
gotta
not.
tell you.
I'm not good on first dates, but I'm a lovable person.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you questions.
As you know.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you questions.
Okay.
I need you to
How
answer
about
them.
we
No.
we're doing it
No,
like
no new
Okay.
ideas.
Go ahead.
Just imagine the listeners of the podcast are asking you this, and you're talking to the listeners. I'm just their mouthpiece, like the prophets
Yes.
for God,
Yeah.
and the listeners are God.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still on the first date?
Yes.
Okay.
Just we're on a first date until I tell you otherwise. Okay.
Okay.
And so these are questions I got from that website. That's good questions for a first date.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, who's your hero?
That's My hero. Maybe my dad.
Your dad. Speak loud into the microphone.
Maybe my dad. I'll say my dad.
You don't have to say why.
Okay. This is more like a test type of thing. If I don't have to explain.
It's kind of like a test, yeah.
Usually a good conversation in a date involves more descriptions.
I just didn't know if you had more to say. It took you like 2
back
minutes.
And forth, asking questions.
Okay, well, I have more questions. Number 2, what makes you laugh the most?
These are all so hard questions. Involve so much reflections. What makes me laugh? No. This is actually making me laugh.
This makes you... So me, your friend Bo.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay. All right, number 3. Which would you rather do? Wash the dishes, mow the lawn?
Mow the lawn.
No, it's not. There's more to the question.
What?
Which would you rather do? Wash the dishes, mow the lawn, clean the bathroom, or paint my house?
Paint the house.
You would rather paint my house than all the other things? It takes the longest out of all the options.
Yeah.
It's the most direct sunlight.
I hate washing dishes. I don't like bathrooms.
And you don't want to mow the lawn? That was the one you answered before you even knew the question.
Yeah, I mean, between mow the lawn and washing dishes. If you put anything with washing the dishes, I'll pick the other one.
So you want to be outside not washing the dishes?
Not washing
Why
the
do you
dishes.
hate washing the dishes? Because it makes your fingers pruny?
It's just so messy. Greasy. And my nails.
Your nails, yeah. It's gross. I used to work in the food industry, and it's gross. People leave food on their plates.
Oh, I'm not born to be working in the food industry or restaurants or
You're not
dishes.
born for that.
Not born for that.
That's not why you were put on this earth.
I'm too slow for any of those restaurant things. Seriously.
Yeah.
The restaurant people told me.
They told you.
Yeah.
So did you have this job?
I wanted, so when back in college, I wanted to earn some money, and I was like, even though I hate this, I'll just do it for the money. I did apply for one, and they sent me away after the first afternoon. They were like,
after the first shift, they sent you away.
After the training. Not the first shift.
You didn't even get to prove yourself. They just knew.
So that's the day when I decided I'm just not born for this.
You see, these are good questions from the website that I got.
Getting to know one. Yeah.
Number 4.
Quite deep.
What?
Deep.
Yeah. Number 4.
You know my history now.
Not
Born for restaurants.
They can't
Born
see you.
to be a customer.
They can't see the gestures you're making to the microphone right now. This isn't
If
one
you
of
can
those
see
video
me, you'll
podcasts.
see.
It's not.
You know, I'm
It's
not
not
born
a
for
camera.
that.
Number 4. What is your favorite thing about your career?
I don't have a career right now. I am in between careers. I'm always in between careers.
You're
I think
a student.
the thing
You can
that
say you're a student.
I think the thing that I like most about my careers in the past are that I get to make changes about my careers.
You get to change it, like you're not stuck in it.
Yeah. Back in college, I thought I was going to be a banker. I made it to the bank, but I didn't like it. So I became an accountant. Now I'm a student. Becoming I don't know, not a pastor, but becoming something completely different. That's something I enjoy.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Number 5. This was from the website.
It's getting too serious.
What 2 radio stations do you listen to in the car the most?
I don't listen to radios.
Do you own a car?
I don't have a car. You're right. I don't have a car. I don't drive.
Okay.
There's so many
That's
things
something.
to address
I
in that
just feel
question.
like if our listeners asked you that question on a date and you didn't mention that you didn't have a car, they would be led to believe you do have a car. Remember, you're on a date with our listeners.
Oh, yeah. What about
you
it?
You think it romantically about our listeners.
And
what? You want me to say more?
what's the point here? I didn't get it.
It's a first date. Okay, next
It's
question.
the first date. I don't have a car. What's the problem?
You can't drive them home, I guess.
I
Number
don't
6.
drive, so
Okay.
the person should know already before our date. I don't drive.
Okay, don't get
You're
mad
supposed
at them.
to pick me up and drive me home.
Don't get mad at the listeners.
You know,
No.
that's what you should do on the first date. Just so you know.
Number 6. If you could hire someone to help, would it be with cleaning, cooking, or yard work? And how much would you pay them?
Cooking, definitely.
And how much
Anything-
would you pay them?
I don't know.
It's from the website. They gave me these questions.
How much?
How
Well,
much would you pay?
depends on the market rate. You know, I once
The
was
market rate?
accountant, so I'm good with numbers. I'm not giving you a number just out of nowhere. I need to do my research.
50,000?
I actually don't know how many hours are they working for me.
60
I
a
don't
week.
know. I don't think it's getting it.
All right, we need to talk louder then.
I need to. I can't really. I have to face.
Then
this
don't
way.
look at me at all. Just don't look over here.
I'm on a date with you, listeners.
Okay.
Not both.
Let's
So not
just-
looking at him.
And the last question that was on the website, do you want to go on a second date?
Well, I feel like I'm being interrogated.
You don't like the way the listeners handled the date.
Not really. A good conversation involves back and forth, so you need to answer all those questions as well.
So you're upset with the listeners for not answering your questions. Do you have
Exactly.
one question for the listeners?
Well,
They can write in. They can tweet at us or something.
do you want me to be back on the podcast? Please comment, like, and forward this podcast if you want me to be back.
So the way to quantify that, if we get more listeners, then you think that means the people want you to be back on.
Yes. And tell Bo how much you like me. Once we go on a second date, I'll be back.
Okay.
Are you?
Okay. Do you have any questions before we go into the podcast for today?
No. I just don't know how we'll, unfold the stories.
We'll
The
get there.
stories.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll get into the podcast. Today's podcast is the Folklore podcast. Folklore or Folktale? Which do you like better?
I like folklore.
Ask the studio audience. What do they like better?
What do you like?
Folklore.
Yeah, this is actually the first time I heard the word folklore, but I'm liking
Just
it.
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume it's the same thing as folktales, right?
Folklore it is. Okay. And then
Folklore.
there'll be like a theme song right here. Dooba-dooba-doo-doo.
Welcome to the Folklore podcast. This is Xiaodi, your co-host for today. This is Bo.
Hello. Welcome to the Folklore podcast. Xiaodi, how are you?
I'm good.
Are you ready to, as we do every week, do you want to
like
go
the
first? Do you want to
attitude.
tell yours first?
Okay, so both of my folk tours are Chinese. Are from China.
Mm-hmm.
Asian history.
These are historical.
Yeah,
Okay.
like Bible.
Like the Bible, yeah.
Like the Bible. Which one do you want to listen to first?
The moon one.
Okay.
The moon one.
So, okay. Last week was actually the moon day. And there is this beautiful lady. I think she is a goddess, supposed to be a goddess. Lives on the moon.
Okay.
So this is based on lunar calendar, Chinese lunar calendar. Every 15th of the month, you get a full moon. And that's the day you can see this lady. Her name is Chang'e.
Is she the face that's on the moon that people talk about?
Yeah.
We call it the man on the moon.
The woman on the moon.
She's the woman on the moon.
Yeah. And
but is that her face on the moon, or is it a whole body on the moon?
Whole body.
Body and face.
Like a fully human.
But goddess.
Fully divine.
Yeah, like the Christ. Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
Okay. The reason why she's there is so she used to be a human, and this was in Asian China. Her husband works for the government, and
that was so ominous the way you said it. Which was it a specific dynasty?
I don't know. I think it's even before the dynasty.
Oh, it was just
like
old government.
Asian time. Yeah, was there a government? But works for maybe works for a god.
Oh, it was the god's government.
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
And so it always has been a thing in the Chinese culture that human, like, I think this is kind of related to the Bible. People don't want to die, right? So it always has been a discussion in the Chinese folklore to find ways that people do not die.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, Chang'e's husband, actually got 2 pills. 1 pill.
2 pills?
1 pill. If you take it, you stay alive. You will not die.
It's like the Matrix. Is that where the Matrix comes from? It's very similar.
I don't know about
Have you seen the
Matrix.
Okay, we don't have to talk about it.
But anyway, this pill is probably from the god who gave it to the husband. But he only has 1 pill, so he's not taking it because, his wife.
He doesn't want to leave his wife to die?
I think so.
Okay.
Let's hope so. But little did he know, she took it.
And that's why she's on the moon?
And then this pill, like, the way that you stay alive, I think there are different versions. My version is after she took the pill, she just started flying and floating to the moon.
Okay.
And as a punishment, she has to stay in the moon because she stole the pill.
So it was a crime of theft, not of taking the pill.
I think so.
So she's up on the moon alone.
No. There's a rabbit.
Okay.
And there's a guy called...
Wait. Tell me about the rabbits.
There's a rabbit.
Okay.
With her. They're not so much about this rabbit in this story. We just know the rabbit is her. But in a side story, a different folktale, this rabbit was actually once a... What's the name? Devil? Demon.
Like a demon?
Demon.
Yeah.
She's very pretty. She once became a human figure. But she was trying to mess up with some main character of another story, which we can get back to if interested.
Okay.
But she's very pretty as well.
The rabbit's pretty.
The rabbit.
Okay. Like pretty when she's a human.
When she's a human.
But also as a rabbit. Is she?
She's a demon. A demon. She just appears as human. She's not actually a person. She's a rabbit.
She's a rabbit.
But she appears like a human to seduce a guy who was supposed to go to India. That was the guy who who brought Buddhism to China from India. Anyway, that's another long story. And so this demon who was a rabbit was one of the obstacles this monk who was traveling to India to brought Buddhism back to China had to overcome on the way there, you know.
How did the rabbit end up on the moon with the first goddess?
Good question.
You don't know? That's just.
I think there are
happens
different.
To be there too.
There are different versions about the rabbit. Maybe it feels like the moon is a place for punishment. So she probably did something really bad as well and ended up there. And there she was with Chang'e, and there is also a guy.
Okay.
Who's also there as a form of punishment.
Okay.
Wugang is the name.
Any other information about him? Why is he on the moon? What does he do?
I actually don't really know why he's there. I did a quick research earlier. Looks like Wugang killed someone because his wife was having an affair with someone, so he killed that guy. But this guy has power. I think he was one of the godson or whatever, grandson.
Okay.
So as a punishment, Wugang was sent to the moon. So they met, Wugang and Chang'e, on the moon. Wugang really likes Chang'e.
Wait, who likes whom?
The guy really likes the lady.
Okay.
The guy Wugang.
Not the rabbit, the goddess.
Not the rabbit. The main character here is Wugang and Chang'e, the guy and the lady. So I think Wugang likes her a lot, but she doesn't reciprocate.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why, but Wugang was cutting a tree. Maybe
this is on the moon or on Earth?
On the moon. This was on the moon. So I guess the way for him to eventually get her attention, like, so there's a palace. So Chang'e is in the palace. Wugang is outside the palace.
Doesn't really come in a chronological order, does it? It's just kind of.
Anyway, there is a tree outside this palace. I suppose he has to cut it. Like the tree has to be gone in order for him to see Chang'e for some reason. But this is where the fairy comes. Whenever he cuts it, the tree just heals itself. So he's cutting year after year, day after day. That's his work he has to do. That's it for my story, I think.
Okay, and this has
unless I missed something.
Like a celebration that revolves around it.
Well,
you had moon cookies?
Now that I think about it, I don't even know this festival is related to this story.
That's the whole point of when you told me you were doing this. That's the whole reason you said.
I can't be sure, but apparently Moon is a really important figure in Chinese folk tales.
Just the moon itself.
The moon. There's so many stories related to the moon.
So there are more than 3 people on the moon. Or no?
There are 2 people and 1 rabbit.
All right, studio audience, how was it? Sounds pretty lackluster. Either that came through really well, or it was just crickets, depending on how well the sound travels.
Okay.
Did we mention that this is live too? The Folklore podcast. It's live.
It's live.
It's live every week, of course.
Yeah,
right?
every week.
Every week it's live. My folklore story, one of mine for today. I know you're going to choose one. That's important to Chinese culture, so I chose one that's important to American culture. Don't look at my notes.
I'm not looking.
You
at
are.
it.
What are you looking at then?
I'm not really like.
You're staring at them.
I'm really good at looking at something, but not register anything.
Okay, that is a good skill.
Good skill.
This is the story of Paul Bunyan. Have you ever heard of Paul Bunyan?
No, you know what I was thinking when you first said? The American culture.
What? You want me to tell a different story?
No, I was like, I wonder what American culture is.
Just what American culture is in general. Well, we don't have a ton of...
like 5,000 years.
Right, because unfortunately those stories were pretty much...
Sorry. Yeah.
destroyed. Yeah.
Go on.
So that's a bummer. Thanks for bringing that up. But this is one. This is a story that's important to the logging community,
What's
to
a
the
logging?
lumberjacking community. People who, like your friend on the moon, chop down trees for a living.
Oh,
You know,
logging.
they wear flannel shirts and jeans, and they have those hats with the fur on top, and they have big beards and axes. You know these people. They're lumberjacks.
Here in the U.S.
Yeah, they're lumberjacks. Right, my studio audience? Okay.
They sound. I don't know about this response.
Well, one time there
Please
was...
excuse me. This is my second language. Go on.
Do I?
Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, they wear
Talking to the
suspenders
audience.
over their flannels, no belts. Paul Bunyan, so one day there was a huge baby. Like,
Okay.
the baby was bigger than any person. Bigger than
But
most
it's a
trees
baby.
already. It's a big baby.
Okay. Giant baby.
And the baby, you know, exactly, you get it. It's a giant baby.
Yeah.
Basically, he just kind of washes up into the shore on the Pacific Northwest. Just kind of washes up one day. Here's a baby.
Wash himself?
Like already in a cradle. Like in a cradle. And it's a baby. He already is wearing a diaper. Already has like this huge pacifier. Are you kind of picturing this?
Yes.
So it's a big baby. Okay.
What?
Basically,
What's going on?
the-
Wait. He's in the river.
I think he washes up from the ocean.
What is he
In the
washing?
Pacific No, sorry. He comes to shore. The waves bring him in.
Oh,
You know,
that's
the
where he
expression
can
washes up.
like Sagar. What? Like Moses.
Yeah, kind of like Moses.
Okay.
Except if Moses was like 100 feet tall already.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so he becomes, you know, the community there takes care of him. Like they all like get ladders to go feed him, you know, and they have to use they all have to push the cradle to rock it, you know what I mean? So everyone has to be involved because the baby's so big.
Yeah.
And then he grows
They have
up.
enough food for him?
Yeah, enough. Probably like all the milk from the community. I bet no one else got to drink milk.
Mm-hmm.
But the baby grows up and he starts chopping trees. Becomes his
Oh,
activity.
he's like Uga.
Right, but yeah. So he has a big axe and he can basically chop down trees very easily. It's easy.
Okay.
They're like toothpicks. to him.
Lumberjack.
They're nothing. He's a lumberjack, right? And then basically he goes around and gets a few jobs as a lumberjack. He has good job prospects, right? Because he can just wipe out a whole field of trees, a whole forest if he wants to.
Huh.
So basically, the whole legend about him is he is responsible for creating all the natural wonders of the continental United States. So he meets a giant bull called Baby Blue Ox, right? It's a big blue ox.
Ox.
Like what
Oh,
pulls a
okay.
plow,
That's
right?
right?
No. Like the animal. Like a male cow.
Male cow. Oh, okay.
But it's blue. It's blue.
What?
It's blue.
He makes one?
No. He finds it.
Okay.
And it's his size. It's like proportional to him.
Okay.
He finds
His
it.
buddy.
Yeah, so he finds it trapped in ice, and he sets it on
What?
fire.
What? Ice?
Yeah, ice. It's frozen. It's a frozen bull.
Oh,
Giant-
ice.
Yeah. So
What? Oh, the cow was on the ice.
yeah.
The baby found it.
No, he's not a baby anymore. He's grown up.
Okay, the
He's a
lumberjack. Does he have a name?
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan. Oh, okay. Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan. He lights the bowl on fire so it's not frozen anymore. You know, it defrosts it. And now...
Oh, the ox is frozen.
Yeah, just don't worry about that part. But he becomes best friends with this giant ox. That's his son.
Yeah, that's how...
And they'll play fight because they're such good friends. And this is how all the natural wonders of the continental United States are made. They tumble,
What?
they rustle and tumble, and they stomp really loudly, and it makes big holes in the ground, and that's the Grand Canyon.
What did you say about great... what did you say?
The Grand Canyon? Like just now, you mean?
No, just now, this is a story to explain what? American what?
How like a bunch of like natural landmarks happened.
Oh, okay.
So like he's responsible for making several rivers. He made the Grand Canyon. He and his ox. He made different mountains.
Oh.
With his horseplay.
Because of Paul Bunyan and the ox?
Yeah, they all made it because they're so big, and when they push each other and the other one falls over, it makes a big hole in the ground. Stuff like that.
I see.
Or they'll push rocks against each other, and that makes mountains, right?
Wow.
So they're yeah, I know.
So fairy.
So what?
No, I just didn't think it was such a fairy tale.
Yeah, it didn't happen. It didn't actually happen. They made the Grand Canyon, the Black Hills in South Dakota. That was them. The Grand Tetons was them.
Grand Teton.
And then the story goes, they came along the salesman.
Salesman?
Right?
Oh, I thought that's the end of the story.
No. He's selling an mechanical axe, a chainsaw, right?
Mechanical something?
Like a chainsaw to chop down trees with.
Oh,
he says
okay.
this is the future of chopping down trees.
Yeah.
And Paul Bunyan comes along and he says, no. Paul Bunyan basically says he can chop down trees better than the steam-powered tree chopper device that the salesman is trying to sell.
Mm-hmm.
But it wins. The machine wins. It beats Paul Bunyan.
Of course.
Okay.
The machine wins. The
You had no
machine
faith
always wins.
You believe in progress.
I believe in industrial revolution.
Yeah. So then he and the ox go up to the north, to the icy north.
Unless Paul Bunyan was a god or something.
Say again?
Unless Paul Bunyan is a god.
In
fairy tale, you can have this, Chang'e became a goddess.
I think there's part of the story where they became stars in the sky.
The baby?
They became it doesn't stay a baby all its life.
Paul? You mean Paul? Came from the sky?
No. They went up. You know how if you live a good life, maybe they'll put you as a constellation, like Orion, right? You know Orion. He has a belt.
I don't know, right?
All right, don't worry about it. But they go up there and somehow...
This story is not going anywhere.
Okay, jeez. That was nice about you. They make the Aurora Borealis.
There's so many
the Northern
vocabularies.
Lights. Do you know the
Northern Lights? Yes.
The Aurora Borealis.
That's also from Paul?
Yeah, that's from Paul. They did that. Yeah, there's a studio audience. They love my story. They're cheering for it. Sounds like they like mine better than yours. Paul Bunyan. Okay.
Paul Bunyan.
And do you have any follow-up questions for Paul Bunyan? I think the main thing that I want you to remember is that he's not a baby his whole life. He's just... I started talking about a baby because he, like most people, starts out as a baby.
But he was giant. I
yeah.
that.
So you know he's giant the whole time, right?
Yeah.
He's always a giant. Okay.
He did grow.
Yeah, he did grow, didn't he?
Paul Bunyan.
Do you have another story? Another
I do.
folklore? Okay.
I have, I think this story I know better. so I can actually tell a full story.
Okay.
There's so many mysteries in Chang'e's story, so our folk stories are always related to a goddess or something. So there are 7 princess goddess. In I don't know the words, like in heaven, in sky. Anyway, they live on the sky, in the heaven. Constellations, I guess.
Like Orion.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're sisters, 7 of them. And one day they decided to come to Earth. Excursion, I guess. And then they were taking a bath in a river.
Uh-huh.
And, okay, I have some opinions I'll like I will put in the story. So there is this guy. I don't know what he does. I forgot what he does as, like, for work. But anyway, he saw these 7 beautiful ladies bathing in the river. And for some reason, he stole one of their clothes. This is the part I cannot get over with.
Okay. What, this guy was like a pervert or something?
I think it's pretty pervert.
Okay.
That he stole one of their clothes. So anyway, so they have a time, right? They can't, like, I think they are not supposed to come onto the earth, these 7 ladies from Rhine. And so they have to go back. And by the time they need to go back, this one lady in particular couldn't find her clothes, apparently. And the other 6 left her.
What?
Went back to...
Wait, this is E.T. This is the story of E.T.
Right?
Keep going. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, I think it is.
Anyway, so the other 6 left without her, and she was just crying and crying there because without her clothes she can't go. Apparently she can't fly without her clothes. So there's so many things about this story that you can have an opinion about. And this guy Niu Lang shows up with her clothes like a hero to save her, right?
Okay.
And
a real sneak.
Very. And then they fell in love, of course. So she decided to stay here with him. They actually had 2 babies, 1 guy and 1 girl. And one day, after so many years, they already had babies. So you have to understand that she was not supposed to be here on Earth. She's a goddess, right?
Uh-huh.
So after so many years, they finally, like, the administration on heaven find out that this goddess, this princess, was on Earth, married to a guy on Earth, a human, and had their babies. So they summoned her to come back. She has to go back to her place. Anyway, so they are separated. So this guy stayed on Earth with these 2 children, and the princess, the goddess, had to go back to the Earth. So they're separated. And these 2 are the symbol, like, for Chinese Valentines.
Oh.
So every year, so they are sad because they're separated, they're in love, and she can't see them, they can see her. It's such a sad story. So the admin office in heaven agreed that they'll let them to meet once a year.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
But yes, when I was little, I also thought it was beautiful. But why on earth he took her clothes on in the first place?
You seem to have serious qualms with it. Does she ever find out about that? How does she react?
That I don't know. I hope he come clean with her. Otherwise, this whole marriage is just based on a lie. Anyway, so in lunar calendar, every July the 7th is when they'll meet. So this is Chinese Valentine's Day. How they'll meet?
Okay.
Because he's a human.
Yeah.
She is on Earth, like on Rhine. What happens on July 7th? You will not see any bird this day on Earth because all the birds will fly and make a bridge between Earth and the heaven, so that this guy can climb and walk. They can meet in the middle. The part I don't understand about this story is why can't she just come like she first came
with her flying clothes?
Yes, that's how she got here in the first place, right? But somehow she couldn't now. So they have to use the birds to meet the bridge. So this is a bridge. A
bird bridge.
Bird bridge.
Right.
And yearly on this day, lunar calendar, July the 7th, Valentine's Day, yearly it rains. You know why?
It rains yearly? Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they finally meet and they are crying. The ring is their tears.
Of joy.
I guess.
You think they're sad?
I think they're sad.
Because they're together again or because they have to leave again?
Both, maybe.
You just don't seem to like this relationship, right? You don't sound like you support
Well,
it
when
very
I was
much.
little, I really liked this story. Now that I'm telling the story again, I don't know about this guy.
You think he's kind of a sleazeball? My other American folklore, this is one that's a very important American folklore right now. It's more of a recent one. You mentioned Paul Bunyan sounds modern. This is an ideological one, right? One that explains how something got here.
Oh yeah.
It has a very. This is unlike Paul Bunyan. I guess that has the lumberjack community.
Why lumberjack is so important in American culture?
It's not, but it's just Paul Bunyan. There's a lot of loggers out there. It's a big logger union.
Okay.
But this one has a huge and thriving community. And, you know, they have conventions. They have pamphlets that they hand out. This is the folklore of the flat earth. Have you heard this one?
Lunker. What was that?
What do you say?
What community are we talking
about? The flat earth community. You want me to pull up pictures?
Flat earth.
Yeah, have you heard this one yet?
No.
Since you've been in it? No? Basically...
they think the earth was flat?
They think it is flat currently. It basically...
now?
Just like Paul Bunyan. Yeah, now. It's flat now. Basically...
No, I mean, there's this community now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a kind of a folklore thing. But they actually believe it, unlike Paul Bunyan.
And they think Earth is the center of the universe?
I don't know what they think is going on outside them, but they think it's just kind of a flat... Here's what they do. These people, they'll grab a Frisbee in front of you. I had someone come up to me like this on the street, and they had a Frisbee, and they turned it over. So you know how Frisbee... If you have it, you know Frisbees, right? Okay, sorry, just the look on your face made me wonder. So they'll pour water on it, and they'll
feel attacked.
They'll hold it with the round side up, and they'll pour water over it, and the water will run down the sides, and they'll go, "That's what would happen if the Earth was round." And they turn it over, and you know how it's like a bowl when you turn a Frisbee over. You can actually eat stuff out of it. They'll pour water in there, and it pools. And they'll go, doesn't water puddle up? The earth is flat. People told me this on the street. So this is their legend. Basically, A long,
Whoa.
long time ago, everyone knew
I
that
don't
the
know
Earth
how
was...
to debate with that.
It's not hard. That's not actually sound logic.
Yeah, that's physics, I guess.
Yeah, it's just lack of understanding of physics. And I know we're probably ostracizing all our flat Earth listeners. But so basically, the folk story goes that long ago everyone knew the Earth was flat.
Okay.
And then Christopher Columbus set out to prove that it wasn't. They say that Christopher Columbus set out to prove that the Earth was round, and he didn't because he hit America.
Yeah.
He couldn't make it all the way around
continent.
to India. So basically, they say around that time a conspiracy started. That people decided that it would be good to hide the information that the Earth was flat.
Why?
Because these were very smart, very wise people. And they knew that if everyone knew that the Earth was flat, then they wouldn't be able to control them. Right? So they wanted to control the people, so they said the Earth is round. Okay? And then...
Because it's so important?
And then in the 60s, they developed a fake space program. And they went up and they took fake pictures of a round Earth because it's really flat, right? Mm-hmm. And they faked the moon landing. Did you know about all this? Mm-hmm. There's the flat earthers. And I'm getting I have one of their pamphlets somewhere. They gave it to me.
Oh.
And I'm not a part of this community. I think I'm making it clear that I don't believe it. But we
don't talk political on this podcast, do we?
This is fine.
Okay.
We just talk folklore every week.
This is getting a little political.
No. Just let me finish. So they say that it's a conspiracy and the Earth is flat and it's surrounded by the polar ice caps. That's what keeps all the water inside. That's the ocean.
Oh.
Because they say if the Earth was round, you would see planes coming up over the horizon. These people obviously have never been in a plane before, right? You've been in a plane, right?
I suppose.
No, but you've been in a plane, right?
Yes.
You're not considering this, are you?
No, I'm trying to understand them. There's a polar outside the Earth.
So I'll pull up some pictures for you. Just like I pulled pictures up for Paul Bunyan. This is what they think, right?
Wow.
So they think it's
this
flat.
Kind of looks pretty.
See, that picture has space aliens all around it. It does look kind of pretty. I'll give them that. It looks kind of pretty.
I mean, my question, I guess, is why is it so important that they have to hide it from us?
Because that's how the government controls us. That's what they say.
Like, if they hide the fact that the Earth is flat, then we're controlled?
These are people who have a lot of free time on their hands. And their conspiracy theory is that the government hid this from the public, like they do with so much stuff.
Like, why is it so important?
Oh, this is good. Here's a billboard that they put up. It says it has a picture of the globe taken from space. This was taken by a satellite. The picture they use, and it has like one of those red stamp things, and it says fake. Wait,
fake news.
You're the one getting political. Okay, so it says the Earth is not a globe, and it has under the picture of the globe official NASA photo of the Earth. So I don't know why they would put there. And it's a YouTube billboard. It's to get people to check out their YouTube channel.
A Stranger's Guide to Flat Earth. 21 questions.
So this is, and they have conventions, and people go, and people really believe this. And
they look all very smart.
They all look at this man. He has a globe for a hat. So that's kind of like the American folklore. There's no holidays for it. I'm sure they have a holiday. I just don't know for it. I don't know what it is.
Look at this globe. We have many audience here. I'm saying, I'm trying to put myself on their shoes. If they're saying this is a conspiracy, so the Earth is flat. I'm using logic here. The audience should know I'm a very logical person. I'm trying to understand you if you believe in this. if this is a conspiracy, right? So there must be a reason why they need to hide this from us. There should be a value in hiding it. Where is the value? You did explain to me that by hiding this, the government control us. But how? Why?
Yeah, they have ideas about it, but I don't think any of them are going to satisfy your question.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if any of our live studio audience believes in the flat earth. Let me hear it. Everyone cheer. Come on. All right, I'll add in a sound effect of a huge stadium cheering.
You know, I have a takeaway today. I think I didn't know most of the, not most, but like I think these American fairy tales are pretty modern.
Well, yeah, because there is, mythology and ideologies from indigenous peoples. I just didn't want to. I only took 30 minutes to research, so I didn't want to misrepresent those. Uncle Sam is the other one that I was going to talk about. It's just, it's a anthropomorphic representation of the government.
That's why IRS is called Uncle Sam?
I don't think it is, but that's a part of it.
See.
Maybe that's Uncle Sam's wallet, if you will. Mm-hmm. Think about that. Mm-hmm. That's my folklore that I add to our great collection. I think we should wrap this up, don't you?
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
I think we're bored.
Yeah, I know.
I think we're bored. Like our audience are bored.
They're all asleep by now.
We're boring our audience.
Well, yeah, our audience has to catch the bus home. So, for Bo
and Xiaodi,
this has been 1, 2, 3. The Folklore Podcast. Okay,
let's try again. You should have prepped me for that.
I did. I went 1, 2, 3. This has been 1, 2, 3. The Folklore Podcast. All right, let's try it one more time.
The Folklore Podcast.
This has been 1, 2, 3. The Folklore Podcast.
Oh my god.
As we do every week, talk some folklore, so different folk tales.
Oh, now I started getting a better idea of this podcast.
Yeah, we do it every week, you know.
Oh, okay.
We pretend we do it every week. We're going to have to edit this out in post.
The audience should know I have been explained about the idea of this podcast for weeks. Now I'm finally getting it.
Okay.